Alright, so I obviously haven't learned my lesson about doing these events last minute because it literally ends tomorrow. I have an excuse to why I haven't done the event yet, but at the same time I don't, because I'm able to use my computer and my PC, right? So because if you've seen my post or my comment, as of right now they're almost done putting back the walls. They're just doing the trim or the baseboards or the door frames, whatever you want to call it. Still painting a little bit, just probably in a few spots. So again, I don't really have an excuse to why I decided to do this last minute. Like, I haven't learned my lesson from the last event, but luckily this event is a little shorter. So, and there's not two of them, so hopefully this doesn't take hours. And it's gonna be easy, so. Sadly though, I have not got Vector yet, so that's kind of a bummer. Alright, but we should probably get into it because the new Helldivers 2 update is out and I want to play around with it before I go to bed. And of course I don't want to stay up super late like last time. It was like, what, 6 to 7 in the morning? Everything has been overturned. The cycle is set to repeat. Offer a piece of your soul, and you shall be a player on the chaotic, absurd stage. Kind of sucks I still haven't got Vector though. I wanted this to be like lore accurate to what. So I guess we'll have the normal team that I usually run. So what do we got? Man, we got a lot of people here. I've been playing around with Klukai a lot. Mostly other players is Klukai. Yeah, I really like her. I really am fond of this ability right here. It's really good. Just being able to take out multiple enemies. And then from using other players as Klukais, just being able to take out whole hordes of them. It's crazy. And then the ability to where when an enemy dies, they explode. That's like really crazy as well. I like that. I don't know why it's... Wow. Alright. I've been messing around with Meshi a lot too. She's been holding her own, so... The way I use her is basically... I put her in turbo mode at the very start. That way everyone gets a little buff. And then... what I'll do is I'll use this right here because it buffs everybody, and then it actually affects enemies as well. But she's not really close enough to affect someone. Oh, I guess she is. But it does create that little thing around them. Too bad she can't hit anyone though. It's kind of a waste. There we go, that's what I was talking about, that explosion. Once the ultimate can do that, it's game over. After 404 Combat Team A's arrival at the Elmo, word about the loosening of the agreement naturally reaches members of Combat Team B. With Klukai's permission, 404 Combat Team B, being led by Vector, also successfully rendezvous with the Elmo. And just like that, Hyde 404, while still operating as an independent entity, will utilize the Elmo as a long-term base. Having just completed some combat simulation training, the members of Combat Team B return to the terminal. The progress bar on the monitor is at 100%, and dense rows of data and statistics charts start scrolling down. Vector stares at the final combat evaluation score with a slight frown. You don't look very happy despite the decent score. I think I'm just gonna read it because there's no voice acting in my own head. Candleless is the key to effective communication among teammates. So tell me, why are you dissatisfied with the score? It's not about the score. Wellrod. Oh, Wellrod. Oh man, that's cool. You didn't follow the operation plan we agreed upon beforehand. A good plan should be flexible enough to withstand change. As the mastermind behind the plan, I am well aware of this. But since you find it necessary, I don't mind doing a full debrief and review. The original plan was to immobilize the enemies with a stun grenade after breaking through the door. Roshi and I would then lay down suppressive fire from the front, while you and Harpsy would circle around and rescue the hostages. Yes, that's about right. You are correct, and you did your part. But your unexpected action affected the whole situation. So is Wellrod and... I guess she's part of Team B? Wellrod raises an eyebrow in acknowledgement. Indeed, I decided to deviate from the plan to eliminate a certain unit. I don't know why there was a chandelier in the lab, but I bet the interior designer who put it there would be glad to know that their fancy light fixture was the key to our victory. If there were designers on level 2, that is. Has it occurred to you that actively altering the environment could put us at a disadvantage? I think you should make it clear what exactly you're getting at to avoid any misunderstanding. In other words, scattering glass everywhere wasn't exactly conducive to our subsequent actions or withdrawal. Shards of broken glass do no damage to doll frames. Yes, but they do harm the hostages. Pardon? Wellrod is confused for a moment. We have no medical dolls on our team. If a hostage gets injured and infected under such circumstances, we wouldn't have been able to fully complete our mission. You seem to have overlooked a very important detail. Our hostages were simulated. That doesn't matter, right? You're right, but when we're in the real world, our standpoints would be completely reversed. If we don't consider the hostages, we would be the ones who end up in a recycling plant. Though I suppose the pain wouldn't last long. No matter how many points we score on level 2, we would just be T-dolls whose lives are ruined by video games. To be fair, that would be quite fitting for me. Oh my god, that face. Also, you should really have notified us before making such a drastic move. If you look at the replay, Rushi clearly wasn't aware of your intentions, and so she couldn't coordinate with you despite being right next to you. Even if we suck, we should all suck together. The battlefield is ever changing. Opportunities wait for no one. Surely you know that as well. You can't deny the fact that by dropping the chandelier on the enemies, I greatly reduced the threat they posed as well as the time it took to mount the rescue, thus increasing the hostages' chances of survival. Even in the real world, loitering at the scene would be more dangerous for the hostages than getting cut by shards of glass. But if the chandelier had been rid with a bomb or grenade, things would have turned out very differently. So what do you want me to do? Apologize for something that didn't happen, but could have happened in your pathetic, delusional paranoia? Focus on the results, Vector, like a normal doll would. Dang. Sensing the tension in the air, Harpsy wrings her hands nervously. Roshi looks back and forth between her teammates and is just about to say something. Knock knock. A knock on the glass interrupts the confrontation. The dolls all look towards the sound. Commander. It is me. The doll slides open with a soft whoosh. I retract my gaze from the screen in the training room and direct my attention to Vector, who has jogged up to me. What is it, Commander? Are you here to supervise our training? No, I came to talk to you. Still, isn't the store a bit low for you guys? Following my gaze, Vector glances at the data shown on the screen through the glass. Yeah, I didn't handle the problem very well. We have very different habits and ways of thinking. The adjustment process is proving a little challenging. I don't know if you noticed, but rather than adjusting to each other, that sounded more like a full-blown argument to me. You heard all that? Oh, you heard it all then? Just a part of it, but things were getting pretty heated, haha. The way I see it, you do work well as a team, but maybe things would go more smoothly if you communicate in some other way. Klukai said as much. She told me to find an effective way of communicating with my teammates. But arguing is also a way of communicating, no? It may be a bit harsh, but through an argument, we can all efficiently state our own needs and deepen our understanding of each other. Besides, Wellrod's cutting remarks also serve as a regular reminder that this position of leadership just fell out of the sky for me, and I have yet to prove myself worthy of it. Wellrod. The change in the way she speaks was a bit dramatic, but I'm sure she didn't mean it that way. I do wonder what she has gone through. Her tongue is much sharper than it used to be. It still beats my constant self-pity. At least she worked on becoming more persuasive. You see, on the top of reaching and understanding, you also need to reach kenosis. You must also get Wellrod to trust your concern and judgment if you value cooperation. But right now, both you and Wellrod are still standing your ground and trying to force each other to accept your respective views. ... I hesitate as I gaze at Vector, who is now deep in thought. Vector was appointed as the leader of 404 Combat Team B by Klukai. It's clear to me that the biggest challenge that stands in her way of being a good team leader has nothing to do with her combat performance or battlefield awareness. The problem is with her personality and style. She fully acknowledges the problem, but that's all she does. She acknowledges it, and seems perfectly content to resign herself to it. I suppose deep down, even Vector herself doesn't believe that she is up to the task. Klukai may give her some pointers, but she isn't really the type to give any encouragement. Sorry, that might have been a bit harsh. Since you're the team leader, I'm sure you have your own way of managing your team. Right, back to the subject. Have you seen the message that Klukai sent you? Vector pulls out her communicator immediately. There is an unread message. Meshi's training plan? What? I will be out on a mission with Klukai, and Doris and Belka are also coming with me. Meshi's frame is still under calibration, so we'll leave her behind on Elmo for now. However, Klukai has put together a training program for Meshi because she's worried that Meshi is going to sleep the whole time we're away and completely neglect her essential data calibration. She said you never replied to the message she had sent you, but she's busy preparing for the mission, so I came to follow up on that for her. You want me to supervise Meshi's training? That's right. I believe Klukai would like Combat Team B to bring her along for your training as well. Don't go easy on her. Not even in a 4v1 or a relay fight. 4v1 would be a bit too... I've included all the things to note and precautions to take here. In any case, just make sure her head isn't always attached to her pillow. Fine. I hope Meshi won't find the fight against me too underwhelming. Vector's pessimism is a bit of a headache, but since I'm set to depart, I'll leave it till after I get back. Basically, Klukai wants you to take over as Meshi's leader while she's away. So don't hold back and be as strict as you want with her, Vector. I'll do my best, but only if I can even wake Meshi and get her to attend her training. After returning to the training room, Vector informs her teammates of the arrangement made by the commander and Klukai. I wonder if we're gonna... Hold on. Let me move this a little bit. Sorry for the sound. I wonder if we're gonna see the other two. We saw Wellrod. I want to see the other two. Oh, looks like our great team leader has switched careers and became a nanny. Vector ignores Wellrod. We're still hung up on the argument they were having. Let's call it a day. Submit your reports before 6. I'll read through them after I finish supervising Meshi's combat simulation for today. Oh, there we go. Herbsy speaks up a bit timidly from her corner. What is it? Actually, may I supervise Meshi's training? Oh, I like her drill pigtails or whatever it's called. You're actually volunteering for a mission, Harpsy? No, I was going to supervise Meshi's training to begin with, as a favor for Dyer. Why? Because the EW tactical module she is using to debug her data was specially developed by Dyer at Klukai's request. I also participated in the development of the module. Since Dyer has disembarked and returned to the safe zone, he asked me to monitor the operation of the module. An advanced tactical module? Sounds pretty interesting. Not really, it's all rather boring. So you know, since I'm supposed to be doing it, please let me. I understand. However, since Klukai has assigned the mission to me, I must be present. Harpsy, you're staying with me. Harpsy's face freezes a little comedically as she struggles to respond. Okay. I'm staying too. Huh? Why are you also staying, Wellrod? I would love to see for myself what kind of advanced training Team A undergoes. Problem? No, if Wellrod is also here, then it's all over. In that case, Vivi? Yeah, Vivi. Count me in as well. I'm sure you have better things to do. Hehe. I want to spend more time with you, Vivi. Please. Staring into Rushi's expectant eyes, Vector lets out a sigh. Suit yourselves. Just make sure you submit your reports by 6. I wonder if we're gonna have those two, or those three, as, you know, playable characters. Especially Wellrod. I'm kind of interested to see the pistol in action. At least we have Mishi, or not Mishi, Meshi. Man, these names, man, are messing with my head. There's a lot of she's, a lot of y's. Meshi. At least we have Meshi is what I meant to say. Meshi feels a light shove on her arm. Her auditory module, which has been inactive while in sleep mode, activates instantly. Wake up. That doesn't sound like Klukai. The shove also felt a little less violent than usual. In that case, I'll just... If you don't get up this instant, I'll confiscate all the manga on the floor. You hear? No. That's an out-of-print collectible edition of Doll Et's Family signed by the manga artist. It's super expensive. Mishi performs a spectacular kick up from the beanbag sofa. She relaxes visibly when she sees who it is. Oh, it's you, Vector. Here, I invite you to appraise this beanbag sofa together with me. I spent a fortune on it. It's much comfier than the couch in the lounge. You see, the moment you lay down? As much as I want to join you, this isn't the time. Mishi is utterly deaf to what Vector is saying, as if she's just flipped the switch. Flipped the switch. I really didn't want it to come to this, but according to the guide that Klukai has left behind, this would be the most effective thing to do. With a helpless sigh, Vector grabs Mishi by the arms, lifts her up, and shakes her back and forth with a great force. Eck, hold on, something will come loose at this rate. Alright, I'm getting up. What the heck? You're starting to act more and more like Klukai. What happened? Aren't we supposed to be best friends of the Beanbag Club? You have 7 hours to complete today's combat simulation training. If you don't complete it in time, Klukai will be notified that your training is behind schedule. It's fine, Klukai is even here. I'm sure even the training conference will be postponed. Hang on, how do you know about my training program? Klukai asked the commander to task me with supervising your training before she left. Even though I don't really think someone like me is in position to supervise others. Oh, come on. She actually recruited a snitch? She even kicked up such a big fuss and got the commander involved? Wait, don't tell me she also given you the switch that determines my fate. What switch? Oh, nothing. Come now, Vector. Don't take everything so seriously. Remember the first tenet of our Beanbag Club? Never do anything now that can be put off until the last minute. 7 hours is a really long time, you see. I don't remember joining any club. Get up. Klukai didn't mention it in her message, but I'm guessing I will be held responsible if you don't complete your training in time. Seeing that she can't weasel her way out of this, Mishi slides off her beanbag sofa reluctantly. Trying to guilt trip me now? Damn it. Klukai is becoming more and more like Liva. Oh, Mishi. Morning. Isn't it almost afternoon? You guys on Team A sure are laid back. Mishi looks around the training room wordlessly and turns toward Vector. So just how little does Klukai trust me to have arranged such an over-the-top surveillance team for me? Maybe the two of us are the ones who she doesn't trust. Whatever. Harpsy, make the preparations. Okay. Harpsy links Mishi to the control terminal. She hesitates for a moment after entering level 2, but then proceeds to activate the module. Turn on the monitoring device and project her level 2 onto the screen. Do we need to be that thorough? I believe by supervising, Klukai meant watching her every single move like a hawk. What's the matter with you today, Harpsy? Why do you seem so tense? Huh? Do I? Look, Vivi. The image on the screen looks a bit strange. Prompted by Rushi's exclamation, Vector looks towards the screen. It is not showing the scene of a combat simulation. In the center of the black screen, an hourglass icon keeps rotating, and lines of text start emerging. Constructing world framework. Formulating achievable objectives. Sowing tiny seeds of malice. A happy ending. What is this? Just then, a new image appears on the screen. The city from a bird's eye view is deserted. It appears desolate, dilapidated. The image lurches, then starts diving downward. A black spot on the ground grows ever larger. As the camera dives, new text appears on the screen again. The once prosperous and beautiful city fell into decline under the ravages of invaders. As a guardian, it is your unavoidable duty to eliminate them. Young one, go and create a legend. The subtitles disappear as the camera approaches the ground. It gradually becomes clear that the black spot is in fact a doll armed with a gun. She is facing a horde of enemies that are ready to attack. Oh, there's Mishi. I hope I'm saying her name right. Hehe, it's not a bad idea to gamify training. Well done, Harpsy. Oh, it's her doing. Mishi, what's going on? Uh-oh, it's starting. Let's talk after this game. Oh, so she made it into like a game. I see no issue with that. I feel like that would make training more fun, right? Is that how that works? Yeah, so as I was saying, I like to start by putting turbo mode on. I mean, to be fair, I didn't really read into like what her stuff does. It's more like just that I'm just kind of guesstimating. I don't think it'll hit, right? Yeah. I need to figure this one out. Oh well, we'll just do this. Oh yeah, that's fine. Nah. The amount of damage they'll do to her anyways, it's literally nothing. Can't really attack anyone from here, can I? That's fine. Yeah, but I really I think in terms of corrosion damage, I think there's only like 3 dolls in global in the global version of the game that have corrosion damage, right? I think it's like Pieta, Kukai, and then Meshi, right? I could have sworn there was someone else. Oh, Nemesis, I guess, and the Gaunt. I know she has like 1 corrosion attack. After making quick work of the enemies, Mishi holds up a big V sign. At the same time, the words "level up" pop up over her head. That's so dorky. Harpsy, get her on comms. Right. On the screen, Mishi jumps as she's startled by something. She then turns around and leans in closer. Wow, so the monitoring device looks like a flying camera on level 2. It's even equipped with comms. Disguised as a familiar that follows a girl around. A distasteful yet classic trope. Looks like you've been reading the manga I gave you, Harpsy. So I'm guessing I'll have to enter a contract soon enough, eh? Harpsy? What? What's this all about? Under Vector's impassive gaze, Harpsy finally stops wringing her hands and starts fiddling with the edge of her coat instead. It's a plugin that introduces video game mechanics into combat simulations. The plot is generated by an advanced AI. It it makes training more fun and interesting. I don't think we will find anything fun and interesting once Klukai finds out about this. I know you've been spending a lot of time on forums for game devs lately, but this mod wasn't your idea, was it? It's my idea. I asked Harpsy to whip this up. Don't you find the training these days really dull? I just can't get fired up. But is it really a good idea to turn combat simulations into games? I've actually done my research, you know. The concept of gamification has been introduced to many jobs and business activities these days. Experimental results show that it significantly improves employees' enthusiasm and productivity. Interesting. For the sake of 4-Force training efficiency, I don't mind volunteering as the lab rat to test this out. Where's your proposal? Huh? Your investigation report and analysis? It's one thing that you didn't tell me, but you actually put it into practice before clearing it with Klukai? Well, if I told that tyrant right from the start, my ingenious plan would have been nipped in the bud. What? Oh, okay. But training shouldn't be a game. Vivi and I have played a video game about warfare before, but it cannot really be applied to training. Since it's for training, I'm sure Harpsy has considered the issue of applicability to lump her in with a certain dork on Team A, who only ever thinks about slacking and playing is doing her a disservice. Hey, I can still hear you. I'm not questioning Harpsy's ability or Meshi's. The issue here is that you shouldn't have kept us in the dark about this. Anything can happen in such an unstable operating environment. You are indeed very perceptive of potential dangers in certain situations, but don't forget, this is just a game plugin. Dolls don't take any damage in virtual space. Why don't you give your worst case scenario algorithm a break? ... Harpsy gradually starts to regain her composure. She peers at Vector woefully. Wellrod's face appears calm, but her eyes are still flicker with emotion. You see, on top of reaching an understanding, you also need to reach a consensus. You must also get Wellrod to trust your concern and judgment if you value cooperation. But right now, both you and Wellrod are still standing your ground and trying to force each other to accept your respective views. To reach a consensus, maybe I should yield a little? Come now, let's not argue. I'll tell Klukai about this later. She'll probably tell me off, but no biggie. If I don't start playing, training, I'll get a demerit for falling behind schedule. Demerit. In the end, Vector lets out a soft sigh. Fine, carry on with your training. I doubt we'll be able to contact Klukai or the commander anytime soon. Alright. But I'm also taking part. Vivi? Huh? Well, I don't mind. You gave me such an earful, but you just want to play as well, eh? Hahaha. No, I'm just worried you'd run into problems that you can't solve. Also, if I don't experience it myself, I won't be able to report to Klukai on its implementation. Oh, how very serious and responsible of you. Harpsy, log me in too. Okay. I'll change it to 2-player mode. That's cool. I feel like this is probably a hot take, but I think video games could have some form of training in the real world. If nothing else, I feel like communication and cooperation training, you know. Obviously it's different in the real world, but like still, you know. If I'm pulling at straws, I would say communication would be the main one. The overgrown weeds and cracked soil beneath Vector's feet stretch all the way to the high walls surrounding the city in the distance. Using the watch-like operating device fixed on her wrist, Vector opens the area map. On the map, the red cursors representing her and Meshi's are drawing closer together. Vector, over here. The wind carries Meshi's holler. Vector studies her surroundings. Her attention is immediately drawn to a red telephone booth not far from her. She then catches sight of Meshi, who is bouncing up and down right next to the phone booth, waving her hands around. Her hair is frizzy and messy, like a bunch of weeds. Ahem, Vector the Brave, are you ready to set upon this adventure with me? I think I am? No, you're not. But that's alright. Meshi the Great Prophet will guide your way. Come, head inside. Meshi points at the red phone booth. What's this? You'll find out when you get in. Vector is ushered into the phone booth, which looks decidedly out of place with its surroundings. Then at Meshi's insistence, she picks up the receiver and puts it against her ear. After a soft click, a mechanical female voice comes from the other end of the line. Saving game. Do not disconnect. Save. You are fully restored. Vector hangs up and exits the phone booth. She realizes her HP bar is full again. So it's a save point. Save points are super important. You can only level up and restore to full health at save points. Whoa. How come you jumped 3 levels in an instant? Your level is now even higher than me, the Great Prophet. I killed several Elids on the way. So you get more XP from farming Elid mobs? That shouldn't be the case. Are you really Meshi? Of course I am. Why do you ask? Your energetic demeanor and genuine effort in problem solving are incongruent with my neural records. I told you as much. Gaming can boost enthusiasm. If you were this enthusiastic in real life, Kluklai wouldn't have... Whoosh. The sound of a bullet slicing through the air. Sniper, 11 o'clock. The Chudals dive to the side of the road. The next second, a bullet hole appears on the same spot where they were just standing. Vector promptly draws her submachine gun and aims it at the source of the shot, but she freezes at the sight of their attacker. The doll standing on the slope not far away sports corkscrew twin tails that are most familiar to Vector. Relax, that was just a greeting. But her attitude is utterly unfamiliar. Huh? Rushi? Why is she also in the game? That's not Rushi. What? Who are you? Runina Crestella's lies just ahead. It is not a place meant for morons like you. I've seen too many who risked everything trying to make a fortune, but ended up paying with their lives. Rushi, who bears the name tag number 90 above her head, continues her monologue as if she hasn't heard Vector's question at all. You're right. Rushi doesn't talk like Klukai. What? You don't know about Runi Chrysalis? The technology of converting collapsed crystals into crystal energy has won the city worldwide renown. Just how ignorant are you? Collapsed crystal? Crystal energy? Crystal energy has made Runa Crystallis the most prosperous and affluent city in the world, and it is the best place for us crystal hunters to find jobs. Unfortunately, the largest arterial crystal pipe in there exploded, and the radiation release led to the creation of countless invaders. It was all because of the wanton destruction they caused that Ruina Crystallis is in this sorry state. Rushi's tone and gestures become increasingly impassioned. It's almost as if a spotlight is shining on her as she Soliquizzes? Oh my gosh, that word. But even as a set of ruins, the remaining collapsed crystals in Ruina Crystallis still attract countless fools who dream of getting rich overnight. If you are just headless flies drawn by greed, I advise you to turn around and scram as fast as you can. What the hell is she on about? Huh? You're not headless flies, you say? Then who on earth are you? Oh, it's like an NPC, basically, giving you a quest or something. After that, Rushi freezes like someone has pushed a pause button on her. She just stares at them unmovingly. Two lines of text appear in front of her out of thin air. A. We are not headless flies. B. We are guardians who have come to save the city. She seems to be automatically filtering what we say. These two lines are responses? Oh, maybe. What? Maybe we're in a cutscene, and these two lines are choices that will set us on different plot branches? In that case, Rushi, no, this number's 90 must be an NPC? NPC. Mishi, have you ever encountered this when you used your plugin previously? Nope. The plots were all really simple. It's either slaying a dragon to save a princess, or collecting little beasts as pets. Ah, Pokemon, huh? Aha, why don't we just ask Harpsy, the creator of the plugin? Harpsy, what's going on here? Oh, that's cute. But the surveillance camera simply flutters around them, giving no response. Strange, the comms lines are disconnected. Huh? Then let's just randomly pick an answer. Mishi reads the two lines quickly. Let's not beat around the bush and just state our identity. We are guardians who have come to save the city. Wow, that sounded pretty badass. Rushi comes to life again after receiving a new input. Guardians? Could weaklings like you actually be guardians? Ahem. Since you're guardians, I have no reason to stop you, though I seriously question your ability to save Ruina Crystallis. How dare you question us? To prevent you from a humiliating death, I have some information to share with you. Invaders will regenerate indefinitely in the radiation, and can only be eradicated by using a secret weapon that can cleanse the radiation. The secret weapon is in a research institution in the northwest corner of Ruina Crystallis. I have guided many people there, but none have returned. If you're sure about this, follow this road and head north. There is a border terminal, which is the only entrance to the sealed city. And here are some supplies for you. Zone map, outskirts of Ruina Crystallis attained. Ammo 36 obtained. Main story quest updated. Head to the research institution in Ruina Crystallis. As the mechanical female voice speaks again, the dolls feel soft vibration on their wrists. Now go and complete your mission. Stop taking up space here. With that, Rushi freezes again. Almost at the same time, a frantic voice shrieks from the surveillance camera. Vivi, that wasn't me. I would never call you a fool or moron. Delete that from your neurologs. Oh my god. I actually find her assessment quite pretendant? Vivi. Don't worry, even I could tell that wasn't you. Get Harpsy on the line. Okay, but promise me you'll delete that. Harpsy, here you go. Harpsy's voice now speaks from the camera. Vector. Why did comms line get disconnected just now? It didn't. To enhance gaming immersion, voice input is automatically disabled when entering a cutscene. A cutscene? So that number 90 really is an NPC? Yes. The creative AI I implemented in the plugin can only write very simple things in the early stages. After a period of time, it will learn and upgrade itself by reading the subject's neurologs. Maybe this is why Mishi had never encountered any NPCs before. Reading the subject's neurologs. That's right. Due to a lack of R&D funding, some of the settings as well as the NPC models and appearances are randomly extracted and recreated from the dolls that have taken part in past combat simulations and their neurologs. So that wasn't really Rushi, but merely a character with Rushi's appearance data. The personality is based entirely on the plot generated by the AI. A carbon copy in terms of physical appearance, but with a completely different personality? Oh boy, that's pretty interesting. I'm getting really excited about what's gonna happen. Does this Runa Crystallis she mentioned exist in reality? No, the AI just grabbed some information about collapsed crystals and made up the rest. Perhaps to ease Vector's concern, Harpsy adds cautionally. Don't worry, it's all just for internal use. None of it is uploaded to the network. Our data is totally safe. Understood. Vector nods. I have no more questions. Let's go, Mishi. Now that we have the new map, we should continue to explore. Ho ho! You seem to be even more fired up than me, Vector. See? Gamification does work. Perhaps, but being more fired up than you isn't something that warrants much praise. Following number 90's instructions, the two dolls enter the border terminal without much hassle. The deserted building appears spacious and empty. A gloom of the unknown lies beyond the turnstile. Wow, it looks almost like a passage that leads to some kind of alternate dimension. Watch your step. What? Mishi dodges aside out of reflex. When she looks back, she realizes it's just a broken limb of an eyelid. Huh, now that I take a good look, the whole place is littered with eyelid remains. I have a bad feeling about this. Once we go through this passage, we should be in the city. Vector peers at Mishi's health bar. By the way, I've been meaning to ask. What? What's that grayish white thing underneath our health bar? It goes down periodically. Oh, that's... All of a sudden, a piercing howl interrupts their conversation. Vector's eyes flash as she darts a glance behind her. Duck! Enemy attack! We are facing an unknown number of enemy units. Let's keep our distance for now. Those footsteps. Ooh-wah. It sounds like there are quite a few enemies. Let's just try to handle them to the best of our abilities. Okay, I'll take this side. I find it funny that the last big event, because it was big, when they did those little cutscenes during these, you know, attacking phases, they would do their animations. I thought that was kind of funny. I think it's the first time they did that. I thought it was kind of unique, honestly. Oh yeah, we can kill a few. Let's do her first. I like the music. Sounds really good. Bang! The last Elid is shot through the head and topples to the ground even while it's lunging forward. Standing in front of it is Vector, who didn't manage to raise her gun in time. Her finger remains still on the trigger. ... Phew, that was close. Are you okay? Vector straightens up. She curls her fingers and uncurls them again tentatively. I wasn't able to move due to some kind of force, but I seem to be okay now. Oh, that's because your stamina bar was down to 0. Stamina bar? You know, the grayish white thing that you were just asking me about? Any big movement like jumping, rolling, etc. consumes stamina. If your stamina bar is empty, you won't be able to move and will have to wait for your stamina to recover. Ahem, to do that, Meshi the Prophet suggests you move and kite your enemies while recovering your stamina. Don't make any big movements unless you absolutely have to. I see. But how do you define big movements? Any movements other than walking. That doesn't seem very reasonable. Tut tut tut. What are you talking about? This is the essence of this kind of game. Stamina management is the key that sets noobs and pros apart. You still have much to learn, newbie Vector. But in reality, unless there's some kind of malfunction, dolls don't experience such interruptions to their power supply before their battery runs out. I can't think of any real benefit this mechanism brings to actual combat in the real world. Well, Meshi seems to be devoting a lot of computational power to pondering this question. Her brow furrows deeply. It can reduce unnecessary maneuvers, conserve energy and power. See, at the end of the day, energy and power aren't infinite. I personally disagree, but I will note this down and let Tsukai and the commander be the judge of that. Ugh, we're having so much fun here. Why do you have to keep bringing up the bad ending that awaits me? As they converse, they step over the remains of the Elid and head towards the turnstile. Neither of them notices its almost imperceptible twitch. Imperceptible twitch? I don't know. I'm not good at pronouncing words. With a soft click, Vector and Meshi exit the phone booth. So this is basically Dark Souls, basically. Before them lie the familiar weeds and cracked earth. The bloody text, "You died," remains hauntingly fresh in their memory. Oh, what? Wait, why are we here again? You returned to the last save point only when you died. So clearly, we just died. How? I have no idea. I was talking to you, so I didn't see anything, but then something probably ambushed us from behind. Ah, the Elid. Just then, the surveillance camera pipes up while circling around them. Vivi, I saw it. It was the Elid that shot down. It was feigning death. It was the one who attacked you from behind. Elid? It feigned death? We've been... wait, what? We've been had... Oh. I should have known there would have been such sneaky ass moves in this kind of game. Yep. Hang on. Am I being ignorant here? Have you ever seen an Elid that knows how to feign death? I haven't, but that doesn't really rule out the possibility. When it's a matter of life and death, even the poor Elids have to pick up some cunning tricks. If that's true, then all commissions that involve Elids would double in price. This time, it's Wellrod who speaks through the camera. Vector, isn't this one of those extreme unlikelihoods that you're so obsessed with? This shouldn't be so far-fetched according to your logic. ... The derision in Wellrod's tone does not escape Vector, but she also makes no rebuke. Instead, she pulls up the game interface. We are missing a certain amount of ammo and 531 XP. Is this a system error? Oh nah, it's probably the penalty for dying. Penalty for dying? Just as we get drops as a reward for killing enemies, if we die, we also lose supplies and XP. But the supplies are usually retrievable at the location of our death. Wouldn't they be seized by the enemies? Huh? That would be way too infuriating, no? These are the player's hard-earned supplies. If any game implements that, it'll flop real hard as soon as it launches. Though it might actually be an interesting gimmick. Feels like the game is dragging us around by the nose. Yeah, I totally get what you mean. Sometimes when you just can't beat the game and you're so angry you just want to quit, you'll think to yourself, oh, I should at least pick up the loot before quitting. Then once you've done that, you'll think, since I'm here, why don't I give it another go? Maybe I'll beat it this time. And before you know it, a whole night has passed. True and real. So the game is exploiting the player's fears of loss and competitive nature to keep them addicted. Let's go and retrieve our loot and make our way to Ruina Crystallis. I don't know why, but all this game talk is really funny to me. We'll have to be careful this time around. We'll be fine. I know that the elites here can play dead now. But it's so annoying to have to fight them again. Remember to shoot them once more after they go down, to ensure that no elites are playing dead. Yeah, I got it. Then let us begin. So we're fighting the same enemies basically? Well, not really, but close enough. Oh, it's basically the same. That's funny. I think there's like an extra one here and there. Turtle mode. I really want to upgrade the ultimate ability so that way any enemies that die to it explode and do corrosive damage. That's that's really good. Like if y'all ever get the chance to use someone else's Fukai, make sure they're what is it? Oh, version 6. Make sure they're version 6 and you'll know what I'm talking about. It's really good. It's like kind of OP almost. Oh, you're done, buddy. It's over for you. Man, that outfit, I still can't get over it. It's so crazy. Oh, our loot. That was close. I was starting to think that I would lose. That was a hard game. That was training. Never mind. Let's go see what else we can take. Okay, I'll have a look over there. Mishi and Vector start rummaging through the pile of Elid scattered all around for supplies. The search Elid corpses disintegrate and fade away. Ammo 63 obtained. Healing potion 10 obtained. Item crystal bracelet obtained. Zone map, Runa Crystallis urban area obtained. New zone unlocked. A cheap bracelet made of inferior crystal fragments. Judging by the description, it seems pretty useless. If it's useless, it's probably an item that's related to the plot. We can't go wrong by keeping it with us. Say, this has been quite profitable. With all the XP, we can level up twice in a row. But we're constantly at risk of losing the XP before we find the next save point. You'd be wise to not treat them as yours yet, so that you won't feel sorry if you do lose them. If we lose them, we can always get them back. It's just a bit of a pain. You can always start again in games. You can always start again. Does that mean you don't always give it your all? Exactly. Oh, no. I always put in an effort. Vector stares at Mishi with a look of disbelief. Then all of a sudden, another thought seems to have struck her. If we die again while in the process of retrieving our loot, will we still be able to recover the things we were trying to retrieve? I haven't really come across that situation, but speaking from my gaming experience, probably not. Barbsy, is that right? The camera hovering in midair bobs up and down twice. That is indeed the case. I based it on a game with similar mechanics. Basically, you can only recover the things that you last drop. So if your inventory is empty to begin with, you won't be able to recover anything. In other words, players are likely to end up with nothing at all. Huh? Yeah, if you're not careful, then that's true. An extremely limited amount of save points, save-based recovery, enemy resetting, drops penalty. So far I find the design and features of this game that are beyond the scope of training a little too harsh and cumbersome. Huh? I was just trying to match the level of difficulty to the module. Also, Mishi said these were all standard setups for games. Standard setups for games. I had assumed you would at least consider how to incorporate training into the game, but from what I can see, you have simply shoehorned it into a framework without much thought. That's where you are wrong. Suffering is the essence of this sort of mechanicism. Only through the trial of hardship does the fruit of victory taste sweeter. I don't have a module installed for ingesting food, thank you. So what else do I not know about the essence of this kind of mechanicism? You're missing the point, Vector. You've been approaching this with a negative bias and much reluctance from the get-go. It's only natural that you struggle to experience the fun that I'm trying to explain. You got to relax. I think you also completely failed to comprehend my concerns. I totally understand them, but since we're here, we should just chill and enjoy the game. Vector's brow furrows, then she lets out a heavy sigh. Never mind. At least in terms of combat, both the breakout in the beginning and the ambush you just went through match the settings of the module. There are some things that didn't make much sense in other aspects, but they're not impossibly far-fetched. Wow, sounds like you played some impossibly far-fetched games. I just find it very bizarre that these games demand dolls to behave in a way that follows human psychological habits. Can you explain it in a more understandable way? Basically, back when we were still at Griffin, Rushi and I took part in a gaming tournament for some monetary reward. The event was quite heavily promoted. I wonder if you remember. Gaming tournament. That does ring a bell. Apart from dying in combat, players in that game could also die from hunger and hypothermia. That wouldn't be so strange for humans, but we are dolls, so we tend to overlook such problems. If this plugin also incorporates the same mechanicism that makes it possible for us to die from a lack of substance, some subsistence, or low temperatures, then it would make it even more difficult for us to beat the game. Hold on, don't tell me you're talking about the... what? The division? I don't know what that's supposed to say. What, you didn't participate? Nope. I remember, a doll player did actually freeze to death. I think she went by Pink Nya Nya Punch. What a tasteful name. Right, we better get going, or the elites here will respawn. You're right, then let me check which way we should go. After scrutinizing the map for a while, Vector plots out a serpentine route. Looks like we'll be spending quite some time on the road. The research institution and the border terminal are on two diagonal opposite ends of the city. Oh, that's really far. How long will it take for us to get there? Running across the map is always such a chore. Can't we just travel along a straight line here? Mishi points at a straight passage leading to the northwest area marked with a dotted line on the map. The mouth of the passage is right ahead of them. Underground transportation hub of Ruina Crystallis. Are you sure? Anything underground always sounds particularly ominous. The value of training is demonstrated in dangerous places. We're not tourists, so what's the point in spending so much time on the road? You're right, it's more important to complete the training.
戦場は片付いた。皆の者、よくやったな。
Vector and Mishi feel their way forward in the gloom of the transportation hub. If we die again, let's not go underground again. According to the map, this is the fastest route to the research institution. The route above the ground is too meandering. But at least we're much less likely to get surrounded and brutally killed by the enemies in the dark like just now. Don't you think? I didn't know our night vision was disabled. Our most recent death cost us 1,500 XP, 110 ammo, and 25 healing potions. Jeez, they really got messed up. Oh, all of our effort down the drain, just like that. Don't just assume we're definitely gonna die. We've gone through this part before, so we can just counterattack following the enemy's sequence of attack, right? Then you have memorized the enemy sequence of attack? Well, 2 came from straight ahead, then 3 from the left, and 1 from behind? Wrong. There were 2 enemies attacking us from behind. The one who grabbed you crawled up to us on the ground, while the one who attacked me was hanging from the ceiling. Vector feels the doll behind her shiver. Ack, that sounded like something right out of a horror movie. But since you've memorized it, we should be fine, no? There's no telling if we will encounter more enemies after that. You're right, games like this love kicking you when you're down. Seriously, this AI has really got the sadism of a certain game devs down pat. Sadism? Going by your own logic, I thought this would also be a so-called essence of these games. It's only an essence after you beat the game. Before that, it's all the devs' sadism. And it's just exhausting. I feel like I've reached the point where I just quit the game and go to sleep. But this is your training. Oh. Vector ignores the reluctance in Meshi's voice and continues onward. As the darkness hampers her vision, her auditory module becomes exponentially sensitive. In this cavernous underground transportation hub, even the softest rustle sounds incredibly loud. Vector suddenly comes to a halt, causing Meshi to crash right into her back. Ow. Or, that hurt. Why the heck did you stop all of a sudden? Hush. Stay quiet and crank up your auditory module's sensitivity. Why are you being all secretive? Meshi rubs her forehead and does as instructed. A buzzing sound like the flapping of a bee's wings grows clearer and clearer from ahead. Is it coming from here? Vector places her hand on the wall next to her. and feels her way down inch by inch. What? There's a vent here, and the sound is coming from inside. Meshi, back up a bit. Huh? Okay. After a burst of gunshots, something plate-like falls to the ground with a clang. The opening should be wide enough. Wait, you're going in there? I want to see what's making that noise. The sound is too rhythmic, which seems suspicious. To prevent us from encountering anything unexpected again while we're on the way to recover the supplies we've lost, we must eliminate all unfavorable conditions in advance. You have a point. This could be a hidden stage or something. Then make it quick. I'll wait here for you. Yawn. Mishi lets out a massive yawn. She seems to have grown tired of being energetic. Have you forgotten who's supposed to complete her training here? Ugh, I haven't. But what if we wipe in there? All our worldly possessions will get swallowed by the system again. That's why I told you not to think of them as yours. If we wipe, we'll just start again. We can start again however many times we want since it's a game, right? Wow, I can sincerely believe Vector actually said something so reckless. I'm just doing my best to comprehend your idea of fun. After turning a few bends along the ventilation duct, the two dolls' vision becomes clearer and clearer as their eyes capture a little bit of light. At last, they reach the other end of the ventilation duct. Vector dislodges the metal plate by force, and light floods their vision. Metal buckets and storage boxes are scattered all around in a space which is neither big nor small. Several switches are mounted on the walls, and several generators are locked behind metal fences on either side of the passage. This is a generator room? But these generators aren't running, so where's the power coming from? And what's that mechanical sound? Could it be that? Vector looks towards where Mishi is pointing and sees an electrical cable traveling down the wall and across the passage. The cable is connected to a glass container device. A sparkling crystal is suspended in the glass container, slowly rotating while emanating a rhythmic buzz. That's... I can finally see clearly. Ooh, so many enemies lying in ambush. All units be cautious and take care to not be ambushed again. That enemy seems pretty dangerous. Maybe we should gain up on it? Agreed. Hehe, now that's what I call a tacit understanding between members of a fraternity? Yeah, I have no idea what that word was. Alright, what can we do here? Yeah. Oh dang, I didn't even see that one. Uh-oh. I'll just do this. We could do that, but I don't know. We'll just continue taking these guys out from behind. Yeah, that'll be fine. Nice. And then Mishi can take out that guy. How rude.
引っ張らないでよ。ちゃちゃっと終わらせて逃がしません。
With the help of the flashlight, the two dolls promptly dispatched the invaders in the transportation hub and recovered their loot. Watching her XP slowly grow, Mishi lets out a long exhale. Phew, I'm kinda in the mood again. Something's not right. Huh? I recovered less than 2/3 of my previous XP. I also have fewer supplies than before. What about you? I don't really see much of a difference. On top of the loot, I have a feeling that something important is missing. Something important? It's all simulated data here, so you shouldn't lose anything. If you lost important neurons, your neural module would also flag it. That's true. But I'm absolutely certain that this isn't all the loot. Could it be a bug? Bugs are pretty common in games. Just ask Harpsy for a patch update. Harpsy, can you please take a look? Sure thing, leave it to me. While you're at it, also check the surveillance connection. Your voice is getting fuzzy. Okay. When they finally emerge from the underground transportation hub, the sunlight is so strong that Mishi has to squint her eyes. Ugh, we're finally out of that dark and miserable place. So this is the city proper of Ruina Crystallis. It doesn't seem all that different from the satellite cities we visited before. The image is taken from neurologs after all, but there are differences. Look over there. There are colorful glass pipes of varying thicknesses and lengths as far as the eye can see. Some of them lie under overturned floor tiles, some are poking out of broken walls, while the others are completely exposed outside. Most of them are cracked and broken, like icicles piercing the city. I wonder what these colorful glass pipes are for. This must be the crystal pipe explosion or whatnot that NPC Rushi mentioned. Crystal pipe. Rushi. While Vector is still deep in thought, a mellow voice speaks up from behind. Those are crystal pipes. They're for transmitting crystal energy. Andorus, who has appeared behind them at some point, clasps her hands and blinks. Her lips curl into a prim smile. Ever since people discovered how to convert collapsed crystals into energy, the city began laying pipes made of this special material on a large scale to transmit energy to every corner of the city. The city was therefore named Ruina Crystallis, and the pipes were also named crystal pipes. These rainbow-like crystal pipes were essentially the arteries of the city. Right. Are you crystal hunters? Crystal hunters? No. You managed to reach the city proper. You may not be crystal hunters, but you're no ordinary people either. We're nothing extraordinary either. We're actually guardians. Guardians? Impressive. No wonder you suffered no injuries on your journey here. Well, that's not entirely... What is it, Vector? Feeling a tug on her sleeve, Meshi looks back at Vector. Don't you think there's something strange about her? Strange? Yeah, you're right. It's like talking to Andorus in the flesh. That's not what I mean. Have you noticed that our interactions with the other NPCs are done through multiple choice questions? Whereas she's able to converse with us freely? Maybe it's just a fluke that her pre-scripted response matched the conversation? Let me try again. Mishi clears her throat. Ahem. Andorus? My name is J36K. KSK. Damn, she actually registers what we're saying. She's different from the previous NPCs. We better be careful. And who are you? I am a mercenary dispatched to Ruina Crystallis to search for and rescue survivors. You're here on your own? I came with a company, but the intelligence we received was inaccurate. The number of invaders drawn here by the elite crystal energy far exceeded our expectations. Out of the whole company, I'm the only one left. G36 frowns slightly. I'm trying to gather as much of my companions' possessions as I can, just to give some closure to their families. The two dolls fall silent as they return her resolute gaze. Something just feels off. Have you got any ideas? Not really. It's too much of a pain to think. I just want to get this over with and get some rest before Klukai comes back. Have the motivational efforts of this gamification thing worn off already? Well, even a gamer girl would get bored after playing for so long. Klukai? No, nothing. You're gathering your fallen companion's possessions, you say? Have you found anything yet? No, it's like trying to find needles in a haystack. Possessions. As Vetter ponders this, she suddenly thinks of the broken pocket watch. Maybe you could take a look at this? Vetter taps her watch to give the broken pocket watch to G36. Light particles gather to form a physical object in G36's palm, an actual pocket watch. This is... She opens the pocket watch with great care, and her eyes well up with tears. This belonged to a friend. Thank you. G36 turns the open pocket watch to show Mishi and Vetter what's inside. A photo is engraved on the inside of the cover. The subject with blonde hair and green eyes glares at them with scornful eyes. ... Ha 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 ha. It's well wrought. Vetter's eyes the hovering camera with some trepidation. It's for the plot. I hope she doesn't mind too much. Thank you. This is probably the only thing I will be able to find. I don't have anything to give you in return for the favor. Huh? Nothing at all? I thought we would gain some kind of new skill or some amazing items. Like an armor of revival or something like that. I'm very sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any armors of revival. But I could join you and lend you my strength. Support character G36 has joined the group. Holy crap, this can happen? I suppose the support character is an NPC that assists players in combat? Bingo, 10 points to Vector. Fabulous, now someone will fight in my stead. Though I wonder if this Andoris also crashes very easily. You shouldn't rely on her too much whether she's prone to crashes or not. You've got to complete the training on your own merit. Don't worry, support NPCs are only there to balance out the game difficulty. Vector peers at the smiling G36, then at Meshi, who is looking around with excitement and frowns. She tries to suppress the sense of disquiet she's feeling, and looks down to consult the map. We're still some distance away from the research institution. I hope nothing will go wrong. Surely nothing will go wrong.
404を敵に回したのが運の尽きよ。
Story. While Harpsy is focused on checking the codes on the terminal, Wellrod and Rushi are watching the surveillance footage or surveillance feed from level 2 on the monitor. At the sight of her own portrait of the deceased, Wellrod crosses her arms, disgusted in distaste. Don't let it bother you. Harpsy said as much. It's all randomly generated. You saw how odd I was. Don't be ridiculous. You think I'd be bothered by that poor phallus meal of me? I'm actually more curious about who's behind the design that made me exist in big data in such a disrespectful way. You're totally stamping your feet. Yet you still won't admit you're angry? Don't worry. Vivi and the rest of us won't tease you about it. Who's scared of being teased? Ahem. All I'm saying is the random function of the plugin could use some optimization. Oh. What is it now? They got killed by the invaders again. Wellrod turns around and snickers when she sees the "you died" on the screen. Our poor players, one constantly hesitates out of cowardice, the other is lazy and complacent. This outcome couldn't be more predictable. Huh? But I think they're already working really hard. No, something's wrong. Harpsy muttering interrupts the conversation. A bout of frantic typing follows. Rushi and Wellrod exchange a look, then walk up to Harpsy. What is it, Harpsy? What's wrong? There's some kind of anomaly in the data. The code that determines the drops is a bit different from what I wrote. It got overwritten. Oh, so that's why they didn't recover all the loot. But who would overwrite the code? I don't know. Harpsy's input triggers pop-up windows on the screen, each bearing a large red cross that flashes continuously. Even Rushi and Walrod, who know little about programming, can tell that this means that Harpsy's attempts to override the code has failed. I can't do it. The editing permissions are completely locked. I can't make any changes. Who on the outside could possibly bypass my access permissions? Dyer? No. Could it be a virus? But I wasn't connected to any external network when developing and running the program. Don't let these distractions befuddle you, Harpsy. I think it's time for the two dolls, lost in their fantasy of playing Guardians, to wake up from their dream. Alright, I'll contact them and tell them to disconnect from level 2 right away. Harpsy clicks the comms button on the terminal, but the error pop-up appears on the screen again. Comms are jammed. Jammed? Anything else that seemed out of the ordinary? Let me see. Harpsy types away on her keyboard. As rows upon rows of text scroll down the terminal screen, Harpsy knits her brows. The drops aren't the only thing that got overridden, even their neural data. Neural data? Every time they die, they lose a certain portion of their neural data. The data flow is untraceable. It could be some kind of virus. At this rate, the virus will completely take over the neural modules. What? Stay calm, will you? Don't sabotage yourselves by panicking. Harpsy, can you handle this virus? I don't know. I tried to trace it, but the virus is probably capable of hiding its tracks, so I couldn't. I can't issue the command to terminate the program either. Ugh, what should we do? Unfortunately, panicking won't help you trace the data flow either. Calm down, Harpsy. You are one of the creators of this module and plugin. No one knows it better than you. To be fair, Dyer probably knows it better than me. But if we ask Dyer for help, Cluefly will also find out. The cat ears on Harpsy's head droop instantly, probably at the thought of Clukai. I know Clukai is scary, but Vivi and Mishy's safety is far more important here. I know, it's not like I don't care about their safety, I just... Seeing that Harpsy is on the verge of tears, Wellrod bends down and rests her hands on Harpsy's shoulders. She looks directly into her eyes. If you're certain you can't solve this issue on your own, then get in touch with Dyer. Taking responsibility is indeed a daunting prospect, but remember, you are not alone. Wellrod's firm hands may have steadied Harpsy's nerves a little. She tries to collect herself and nods frantically. Sorry, Harpsy. I was also a bit beside myself, so I just blurted that out without thinking. No, I shouldn't keep hesitating. Alright, save the self-reflection for later. Now let's get moving. Well-Rod claps her hands. Harpsy, contact Dyer. Rushi sent a message to the commander and Klukai to explain the situation. Fastening up ourselves should spare us from the worst of the storm. Okay. Got it. Yeah, I kind of figured something bad was happening. Especially with the loot drops, like missing a portion of your XP, yeah, that's not a part of the game, so that's very suspicious. Oh, this is an easy kills for Klukai right here. I like that sound she makes, it sounds funny. It's adorable and humorous sounding. I feel like I do more damage if I do this, right? Yep. There's not really a way for me to do like to kill everybody else, but again, I really wish they exploded on death. But oh my gosh, she can't reach. No, she can't reach. Okay, she can reach that guy. Nice. Mishi takes in the defeated enemies all around her and expresses her heartfelt admiration. Some have fallen headfirst into the pit, while others are hanging on the guardrails. Oh, this is kind of weird. Ooh, such ruthless firepower, such agility, the ferocity of a one dull army. Have I pulled an SP version of an SSR unit? You flatter me. I am simply performing my duty. She's even as gentle as Andoris. Isn't she too perfect? Not that there's anything wrong with the actual Andoris. Just leave all the combat to me. Well, I've been waiting for so long, and someone finally says this to me. This is indeed the dependable junior that I've long dreamed of. Not that I'm complaining about the actual Belka and Andoris. Vector looks at Mishi, who is hanging onto G36 like a rucksack, with a hint of helplessness. Are you planning to make her carry you the whole way? What's the problem? It's not like walking is a part of the training. I think a chewing out by Klukai is inevitable. Jesus, I can't say this word. Inevitable at this point. But if she sees you like this through the surveillance recording, it's just a matter of a 500 shot drill turning into an 800 shot drill. Quantitatively change upon wait, what? Quantitativity change often leads to a qualitative change. She might start tormenting you by targeting your precious collection instead. I have no idea how to say any of these words. Suddenly remembering her large collection of special edition manga and merch, Mishi lets go of G36 demurely. Klukai is away, but she still stalks me like my own shadow. Alright, let's go and retrieve our loot. Mishi and Vector walk towards the two beams of light not far away. The loot enters their respective inventories in a burst of light. Noticing the problem, the two dolls look up at each other almost at the same time. I think you're right about the deducted loot. We only got back less than half of the XP and supplies. Harpsy, have you figured out what's wrong? The camera hovers smoothly next to them. It makes no response. Harpsy? What's going on? We're not in the middle of a cutscene right now, so why are the comms being jammed? Vector, this Harpy, or whatever that you keep talking about, who is it? It's... Vector suddenly realizes that something is terribly wrong. It's Harpsy, imprint model TMP. She repeats the familiar name slowly, but Mishy just stares at her even more blankly. Harpsy? Who's that? A new friend of yours? You don't seem like the type to go making friends with strangers. She doesn't seem to be joking. Making jokes takes too much effort for Mishy. It's not my imagination. Huh? I'm not imagining this feeling that something is missing. You've been saying some really strange stuff since a while ago. Mishy. Vector interrupts her. Try to disconnect from level 2. Huh? But we're not done yet. Do as I say, try to disconnect. Sure. After trying multiple times, Mishy looks at Vector in confusion. I can't. What's going on? Either something happened out there, or something's wrong in here. Mishy, remember when I said I had a feeling that something important was missing? I don't think I was imagining it. What did we lose? I don't know what I lost, but you definitely lost something. Vector tells Mishy about Harpsy. But I still can't recall her. The data is lost, so that's not surprising. What matters is how to prevent further data loss. Say, do you think that this has anything to do with the deducted loot? Like, every time we die, we can recover fewer and fewer things, and as a result, we lose our own neural data, or something like that? There's no evidence that the two phenomenon are related, but it is very likely. Geez, what kind of horrific bug is this? I don't know, but from now on, we can't treat this as a game where we have infinite lives. The more we die, the more we lose. What? Then maybe we should just stay where we are and wait for the rescue? That does make sense. It will certainly reduce our chances of getting hurt. But then we'll also be putting all the pressure on Harpsy and the others to solve the problem. It can't be helped. Our comms are jammed and we don't even know what's going on out there. Are we really just going to sit here and wait for our doom? Then what ideas have you got? Turning into Superman? Vector lapses into deep thought. After a while, she tears her eyes away from the weeds growing out of the cracks in the concrete on the roadside. I'm thinking, to end the game, other than breaking the connection by force from outside, maybe beating the game in here is also a solution? But wouldn't that get increasingly risky under these circumstances? I still think it's better to find somewhere safe and hunt her down. We have G36 with us. If this were still your regular training, I'd have a problem with her presence, as she is basically helping you cheat. However, she can relieve some of the combat pressure for us in these desperate times. Vector glances at G36, who is standing behind Mishy. Perhaps because she is standing with her back towards the light, her face is obscured in shadow, and her smile is barely visible. Like a dutiful NPC, she has remained silent throughout the two dolls' conversation. Besides, we still can't be certain if the data loss is caused by dying or something else. The sooner we can exit level 2, the better. There are things even you don't want to forget, right? Mishy purses her lips and tears at her hair in frustration. Then she lets out a sigh. Alright, I meant to complete the training anyway. Ugh. Having you talk to me so earnestly instead of just yelling feels pretty unsettling. You prefer Klukai's method? Huh? No way. Why would you have such dangerous thoughts? Are you sure you don't? Of course not. You can't be more wrong. Beat the game, yeah? Let's go then. It'd suck if Klukai deletes all the anime that I save at the outpost.
戦場は片付いた。皆の者、よくやったな。
Hey man, we're getting close, which is pretty cool. It's another story one. I'm just glad this one isn't taking as long, but I really need to stop doing these last minute. Luckily, you know, things are almost back to normal at the house, so. The satellite city streets in their memory were at least somewhat orderly, but here, large chunks of broken crystal pipes are scattered everywhere. Uprooted sidewalk slabs reveal barren yellow sand beneath, and as they walk along, the view looks no different from the yellow zones. We'll reach the research institution once we cross this district. Wow, it looks like as if Ultraman and some monster had a brawl here. We're quite close to ground zero of the artery crystal pipe explosion, and the high concentration of collapsed radiation attracted many invaders and elids, so this place practically got razed to the ground. In other words, there could be a lot of enemies lurking about. We can't afford to be careless. That's true. We can deal with anything unexpected better if we proceed in an inverted triangle formation. I can take the rear. No, you lead the way up in front. Meshi and I will cover the rear and flanks. Understood. G36 nods demurely and walks ahead with her weapon held at the ready. You seem wary of her. An NPC that can accurately analyze the current situation, choose between remaining silent and talking freely with the players, and can also make tactical suggestions. She's basically a fully sentient doll. Are the support characters in the games you play so advanced? They could be? I don't really remember. You mustn't let down your guard around her, just because of her strong resemblance to Endorse. Besides, she is completely different from Endorse. Oh, tell me about it. Unlike Endorse, she is insanely strong in combat, though it would be so much easier to tell her apart if her personality is significantly different from the real deal. Just like Rushi in that number 90. I've been meaning to ask, is this Rushi my teammate? Mishi's eyes, which can barely keep open most of the time, widen in shock. Rushi? You don't remember? Not only is she your teammate, but she's also your best friend. Best friend. Corkscrew twin tails, always twittering by your side. And what else? I don't really know the story between you two. Vector rats her neural cloud, but she can't find any trace of the name. In her incomplete neurologs, someone runs over with a recruitment brief full of red crosses. The same person calls out to her through the thick glass while she is soaked in corrosive liquid. But the person's face is utterly blank. Vector freezes in bewilderment. I only found some broken memory fragments. Mishi glances uneasily at the camera that has been following them in silence, then awkwardly tries to comfort Vector. It's gonna be fine. Once we get out of here, we can reload our neural backups. Boom! A building ahead of them collapses all of a sudden, emitting a deafening noise. A long-haired girl emerges from the swirling dust. She stumbles in this direction, followed by invaders that are chasing her relentlessly. Help! Multiple enemy targets spotted ahead at 1 o'clock. Exact number unknown. They are moving towards us at high speed. Engage in 8 seconds. Hold on, that's... Worry about that later. Prepare for battle. It's Klukai. Or maybe it's her. It's a doppelganger.
おじけついたの？
How am I gonna do this one? This one
訓練の成果ね。
seems a little weird, a little different from the others.
交換するなら今のうちよ。どうってことないわ。
Well, as long as we can take out these ones, we should be good.
交換するなら今のうちよ。
Because those haven't spotted
どうっ
us
て
yet.
ことないわ。
So we should be fine. I think what we'll do is we'll just take him out, but we won't kill him or attack the ones that haven't seen us yet. That way we can use Kukai to take him out.
了解。
There we go.
ハンデをあげる。
Now we just gotta sit through this. It's alright now. There are no more invaders. G36 gives the cowering girl a gentle squeeze on the shoulder. The girl, obviously very shaken, is still trembling all over. Above her head is a name tag that reads 416. Vector, I'm not reading this wrong, am I? Her name is indeed 416, not you're dreaming or you've gone blind, right? You're reading it right. Ooh, aww. 416 cranes her neck and starts bawling. Fat tears roll down from her eyes. Her usual cold and haughty face now looks almost pitiful. I know it's not the real deal, but it sure is impactful. I didn't expect we'd run into another new NPC so close to a research institute. The two dolls walk up to 416, who suddenly jumps to her feet and grabs Mishi. Whoa! I almost forgot. My sister. Please save my sister. I beg you. What? Sister? Ow, 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 ow. My arm is gonna fall off. Over here. Follow me. 416 lets go of Mishi and runs back in the direction she came from. Or she has come from. Jeez, her personality is different, alright, but she's still got the same monstrous strength. Hurry, we're going after her. It is surprising that there are still such well-preserved houses in this city. There's even a sofa. Mishi, immediately drawn to the sofa near the entrance, like a nail to a magnet, collapses into it. G36 follows them into the house and stands quietly in the corner. So soft, so comfy. It doesn't quite compare to my beanbag sofa, but it gives the couch in the lounge a run for its money. Come, Vector, savor this hard-earned moment of tender coziness. No thanks. Get up. We have stuff to do. If you mean the cutscene, you handle it. I'm very sleepy. Let me... She can go to sleep even on level 2. Vector shakes her head in mild disbelief and walks up to 416, who is now by a bed in the room. She has to admit that the calm and quiet atmosphere here is quite relaxing. She decides not to bother waking Mishi. Bit sis, are you okay? Don't scare me. As Vector approaches the bed, 416 unfreezes and starts crying piteously while holding the hand of the person lying on the bed, who happens to be Belka. The one lying on the bed with her eyes closed and her face pale is none other than Belka, but the name tag above her head reads GRG28. Hearing 416's voice, she musters her strength and opens her eyes just a crack. So it's the opposite. Belka's the big sister, and then Kluka is the little. Big sis, you're badly injured. I tried to find you some medicine in the research institute, but I ran into invaders. These people saved me. Ahem. You. Don't talk, bit sis. Excuse me, do you have any medicine with you? The watery green eyes turn to Vector, and she suddenly understands how Meshi feels. Impactful indeed. Under 416's imploring gaze, Vector taps at her watch and gives her a healing potion. Thank goodness. But sis, they have medicine. I'll give you some right away. She tries to prop G28 up from the bed, but she may have aggravated her wounds as G28 starts coughing violently. Cough, cough, cough. But sis, are you alright? Sleeping. So noisy, what is going on? Mishi sits up on the sofa and rubs her eyes. She looks over at the bed. That's Belka? She rubs her eyes again. Klukai's holding Belka in her arms? They're both NPCs. I know, but Klukai's bawling while clinging to Belka? No way. I don't care if it's real or not. I've got to capture this absolute masterpiece. Where's my terminal? Mishi pats herself down frantically, but then she remembers she's on level 2. So she taps her watch. Ooh, there's a screen cap and recording feature. 416 dresses G28's wounds lightly. G28 finally directs her attention to Vector. You have my gratitude. May I know who you are? We are guardians. We are guardians. Vector reads out the only option she's given. We are guardians. Guardians, you say? Cough, cough, cough. Cough. But sis, don't get so worked up. I'm fine. I'm okay. Allow me to introduce myself. 416 and I are both researchers at the National Research Institute, number 3 laboratory. I was in charge of the project to convert collapsed crystals into crystal energy. You could say we're the ones responsible for the crystal pipe explosion. Princess, I have always known that crystal energy is not completely clean. Moreover, the safety of the crystal pipes is also very unstable. But we yielded to the authorities. Not only did we not put a stop to the experiment on crystal energy, we even pushed it, little by little, to the point of no return. Vector recalls TMP, whom they have met earlier, and draws the mental connection. Fortunately, we have a remedy. 416 used their own funds to develop a substance that can completely purify collapsed particles. The purification solution. Purification solution. That must be the secret weapon that number 90 talked about. Yeah, it made sense. We have stockpiled a certain amount of purification solution in the Institute's laboratory. We just need to put the solution into the diffuser in the Institute's launch center, and then we can purify the city. The problem is, the launch center was destroyed, and the automatic security system within the Institute was activated, so we can't get through. However, the Runa Crystallis airbase is in the northeast corner of the city. There's a helicopter there with a diffusion device installed on its tail. If you load it with the solution and fly around the city, you can also complete the purification. Zone map. Runa Crystallis airbase obtained. This is it. Mishi, this is how we cleared the game. Bang. A gunshot erupts from behind. Like a slow motion scene in a movie, Vector watches as a bullet barrels out of her chest, passes through G28's forehead, and leaves a black crater on the wall. The shot NPC seems utterly unfazed. She continues to rattle off the pre-written script with great emotion despite the bullet on her head and continuous gunfire. But Vector can no longer hear what she's saying. She turns around with great difficulty, only to see a smiling G36 with her gun raised, and Meshi, who has flattened herself on the sofa in terror. Meshi, run! I knew it! Well, it was obvious. Vector. Orbs of faint light appear where Vector has fallen. Meshi knows that they are Vector's dropped items. What is the outside world like? Show me more. G36 stretches out her hand, and the lights fly into her palm like birds returning to their nest. The figure immersed in light begins to transform little by little. Andoris's illuminated face is as calm and sincere as ever, but the color of the hair by her ears starts fading. Her body also droops like melted wax, and then looks almost as if a pair of invisible hands are gently lifting her up and resculpting her. Ah, so she's taking the oh my god. She's taking the memories. After the light has faded, she appears before Mishi like a patchwork portrait, with all the colors and characteristics of different 404 members. Ah, okay, I can kind of see it, I guess. Damn, she kind of, you know what I mean? Oh, I forgot that you can see my mouse. Sorry. Not enough at all. She kind of slim too. Dang. G36. No, who exactly are you? I don't like this name. It sounds like a tool. I want my own name. A new name to mark a new life. Isn't that right? Who the hell are you? That's right. Your name is Mishi. Mishi. It means dream. I'm gonna be real. She kind of cute when she's not looking like a insane person. An eerie smile creeps across the uncanny patchwork face. I mean, you know, if I see that, you know, I'm not gonna be scared, I guess. I was born out of your memories, your dreams. Koshmar. You can call me Koshmar. Is that how you say it? I don't even know. She kind of bad though. Man, this music is crazy. Story node. Hopefully we get some cinematic, you know, scenes. Remotely controlling the terminal in the training room, Dyer checks the code of the module and plug in row by row. Herpsy also nervously keeps her eyes glued to the terminal screen, not daring to relax at all. Meanwhile, Roshi and Wellrod are keeping a close eye on the situation on level 2 at the surveillance monitor. What should we do? Vivi doesn't remember me anymore. The data loss is only temporary. Once she's out of there and re-downloads her neural backup, she will be the same old Vector. I know, but it still hurts that Vivi is treating me like a total stranger. Tears are a sign of your incompetence. If you keep crying, you will only put more pressure on Harpsy and Dyer. I'm sorry. At last, movement can be heard from the terminal nearby. There's no virus at all. How can that be? The problem is the highly intelligent creative AI that you implemented. Its deep learning ability allows it to continuously read Doll's neural data and continuously improve its own framework autonomously. Ah, classic. It has now concluded its first cycle of self-completion. Compare its current base code with what was originally written. Isn't it much more complex? It does seem to be the case. That's why you couldn't find the so-called virus. Freaking hell. Why does it say freaking hell? The creative AI is artificial intelligence. Dolls are also artificial intelligence. Ah. You put two AIs into a single vessel. Are you trying to teach them what survival of the fittest means? It didn't occur to me. Never mind. According to my speculation, the goal of this AI is probably to seize their neural clouds and take control of their frames. If this continues, I'm afraid it will back-hack the main control system sooner or later. When that happens, not only will their data be at risk, but so will yours. So it's just a pathetic usurper. Now that we know what we're dealing with, we just have to launch an EW attack to wrestle the control back from her. And Bob's your uncle. Oh. It's not that simple. This AI has already merged with Meshi's and Vector's neural clouds to a certain extent by seizing their neural data. Even if we manage to wrestle the control back from her, remnants of the AI's data will stick around in their neural clouds. If we don't do a thorough job of getting rid of the AI, they'll basically be walking time bombs. Is there no other way? Dyer ponders in silence for a long while on the screen. There is a way, but it's incredibly risky. I can't make the decision alone. The door slides open with a whoosh, followed by a set of angry footsteps. I follow Klutai into the room, eyeing the floorboards that she has just stomped over with concern. Klutai, Commander, what are you... We were gone for just a few hours and you've already created a gigantic mess for us to come back to. Her eyes sweep fiercely over everyone present before finally settling on Dyer on the street. Solution, stop wasting time. Alright, here's the solution. Meanwhile, on level 2, if I respawn at the save point, a dozen invaders are outside, staring hungrily at Vector in the phone booth. She checks her inventory and sighs at the empty slots and her pitiful amount of ammo. I'll get swarmed the moment I step outside. I won't be able to save you myself, let alone Mishi. On my own, I really am utterly useless. Bang, 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 bang. Intense gunfire interrupts Vector's moping. She watches as the invaders outside are shot in the head one by one. The area around the phone booth is clear in no time. Vivi, are you alright? Sorry it took us so long to get here. A girl with corkscrew twin tails throws herself at the door of the phone booth, scaring Vector by squishing her face right up against the glass. We arrived right on time. Good thing you haven't lost the ability to make sound judgment. I'm glad you didn't just rush out to take on these invaders and let them give you a thorough beatdown. It's safe now, come on out. With a frown, Vector opens the door and exits the phone booth. She dodges Rushi's flying tackle and makes her way over to Harpsy. Harpsy wrings her hands nervously. Vector, are you okay? You seem to be the Harpsy. How did you get in here? Vivi. Ignoring me, eh? Looks like our almighty team leader has lost her memory of more than one teammate. You're right, I can't bring up any data regarding the two of you in my neurocloud. Vivi, you don't remember Wellrod either? Never mind, we're here precisely to resolve this problem. Wellrod looks at Harpsy, who is standing next to Vector. With a nod, Harpsy tells Vector everything in a soft murmur. So, Dyer's recommendation is to defeat that AI, take what she's dropped, and recover the data I've lost. At the same time, I must clear the game to put an end to this endless cycle of dying and responding, correct? That's it. Dyer has already obtained certain permissions and will help us by using cheat codes. The limit on the stamina bar has been removed. This is way too risky. It wouldn't be such a big deal if it was just me and Meshi. But now you're putting yourselves in danger too. Vivi, how can you say that? What do you mean it wouldn't be such a big deal if it was just you and Mishi? You're our very important companion and the leader of us, Team B. That's right, us. Without you, it wouldn't be us anymore. Vector looks at Rushi and finds herself speechless. I really don't have any memory of what you're saying. That's okay, I'll help you recover. I can't recall anything at the moment, but I have a feeling. You must be someone whom I know very well. Rushi freezes for a moment, and then she beams. Yep. Alright, enough catching up. And don't be so pessimistic. Now that the high and mighty team leader is here, we may actually stand a chance. High and mighty team leader? You don't mean... Elsewhere, Mishi, who has been frantically avoiding Koshmar's pursuit, is cowering inside a concrete drainage pipe. You can't find me, you can't find me, you can't find... All of a sudden, a shadowy figure leans into the pipe. Eep! Mishi is so terrified her neurocloud is on the verge of shutting down. But once she makes out who it is, she lets out a sigh of relief. Oh, it's you, Fate Klukai. This fake Klukai is looking at her with wide, pitiful eyes. Unimpressed, Mishi shrinks back and waves her hand at her, as if she were shooing away a puppy. Go away, you OOC weirdo. You're gonna make me get caught by that Frankenstein. Ugh, if only Tyrant Klukai were here, she would kill that Frankenstein. Easy peasy. Hey, why are you pulling me? I'm not going out there. Follow me. I know a safer place. Huh? A monstrous strong hand grabs Mishi and pulls her out of the pipe. Mishi is getting a bit disoriented. Am I still in a cutscene? Maybe Koshmar is just a boss, and the NPC is now taking me to some safe house so that I can regenerate or something. It's much safer here. Before she can react, her view is suddenly turned upside down, and she feels herself being thrown headfirst into a cramped space. Ow, that hurts. What? What do you think? Don't you feel right at home in this trash can? Fake Klukai lifts her chin. The face that looked so pitiful just a second ago is now full of disdain. Hold on. That tone. Since the OOC NPC is now also dating OOC, she's actually resembling the original character more? This is getting a bit confusing. Mishi. Eek. It's the real deal. Klukai. Stay away from me, you're filthy. Sorry, I can't help but laugh. With a look of disgust, Klukai shoves a hand into Mishi's face to stop her incoming brace. Level 2 is all simulated anyway, the filth isn't real. You're sullying my visual module. Such familiar and comforting mockery. Whatever you say. Now that I think about it, why are you here? What about the commission? The client canceled the mission on short notice, so I came back. What else was I supposed to do? Visit the Yellowstone? The Yellowstone? What? Visit the Yellow Zone with the commander and enjoy the collapse storm? I just didn't expect to receive such a huge surprise while on my way back. Klukai sneers coldly. Mishi gulps despite having no saliva. Let me explain. I just wanted to explore a new way of training. I will give you plenty of time to explain, but not now. Her tone implies that this is far from over. We take care of that distasteful Frankenstein first. I won't let that chimera of an AI make your already dumb Narrow Cloud even dumber and gives you an excuse for your future dumb shenanigans. Oh my god, that was like so funny. When she put her in the trash can, I just couldn't help but laugh. We're getting closer to the end. And it's only been, we're getting about 3 hours. We're at 2 hours and 47 minutes exactly. Is this communicator secure? Dyer said he set up an encrypted comms channel that the AI won't be able to tap, so it should be secure. Oh, it's connected. Mishi, can you hear? If you had called any later, I would have counted you out. See you at the save point. Put someone with a fully functional language module on the line. Harpsy promptly shoves the communicator into Vector's hands. Klukai, it's me, Vector. Let's cut straight to the chase. Have they briefed you on the situation? Yes, I'm all caught up. Eliminate the AI, recover our neural data, clear the game, and end the cycle. It's crucial that you follow the exact order. If you clear the game first, you won't be getting back any of the stolen data. I suggest you obtain the purification solution first so that you can clear the game right after killing the AI. Thus minimizing the time between the two steps and reducing the risk of having the plan derailed. Understood. Boom. Before she can finish, the sound of a building exploding and collapsing can be heard from the other side of the line. Ah, Klukai, Koshmir is here. Why are you screaming your head off? Is your gun a fraud? Oh my god. I don't know why the dynamic between Klukai and Mishi is just so funny to me. Koshmar. That Frankenstein gave herself a name that means nightmare. What a joke. I'm going to turn this into her nightmare. Fierce gunfire erupts from the communicator, interwoven with piercing anguish screams. The voice sounds somewhat familiar. Ah! Don't just stand there, run! How are things on your end? The Frankenstein keeps coming after us. Need us to come back you up? Did you not understand what I said? Vector, take your Team B and get your hands on the purification solution. Mishi and I can keep Koshmar busy. Ah, Klukai, invaders ahead. Shut up and shoot. Vector. Understood, I'll be sure to complete the mission. I just love their dynamic. A three-dimensional image of the Research Institute building is displayed on the screen of Vector's watch. According to the topographical map and intelligence provided by Dyer, the Institute's security protocol has been fully activated. But more than 75% of the building is damaged, so there are plenty of poorly defended openings. The West Garage, where we are right now, is one of them. Have you got any entry route? I have planned 3 routes based on the distance, time, and number of enemies we will encounter. I personally recommend Route C, which is to go along the outer edge of the West Corridor to the exterior of Zone Z, where there is a gap where the wall was blasted open. After entering Zone Z from the gap, we turn right and travel for 200 meters, at which point we will come across an air raid passage that goes all the way down. We follow the air raid passage down to level LG10, crawl along the ventilation duct there to the 5th window, and we will arrive right above the laboratory where the solution is stored. What's your reason for choosing this route? It's relatively safe. It's a little convoluted, but the defenses along this route are the weakest. We may run into security droids on patrol near the gap leading into Zone Z, but that's it. As for the patrols within the lab, the enemies are in the open while we have the advantage of surprise, so they pose no threat at all. Wellrod plants a hand on her hip, looking the very picture of confidence. Wellrod, yes? You don't have to keep reiterating the loss of your neural data. No, I just think that you're capable of making detailed plans and have a commanding presence. You are more of a team leader than me. Huh? Please don't say that. You're great too, Vivi. There's no need to spare my feelings. I am merely stating facts. However, you haven't considered a potential problem. Go on then. Vector points at herself. You? Wellrod can't help but show a hint of surprise. Since I lack sufficient information on both you and Rushi, it is impossible for me to assign roles and coordinate effectively based on your strengths and weaknesses, so I would like to hand over the command of this operation to you. You mean I'm to be the team leader? You are a more suitable candidate under these circumstances. Despite the data loss, Vector appears much more certain than usual. Is there a problem? Surely this shouldn't be a challenge for you. Challenge or not, I will fulfill my responsibility. Following the entry route planned by Wellrod, Team B successfully reaches the ventilation duct just above the lab. They peer into the lab through the cracks of the vent. The room is unoccupied, only a handful of equipment is still running and making some rickety noise. No enemy units in sight, no sign of the target item either. Once we're in there, Harpsy and Rushi will search for the solution. Make sure your respective search areas don't overlap. Vector and I will keep moving and be on the lookout. Roger that. The 4 dolls enter the laboratory through the vent. As Vector gets a better look at the layout of the lab, a certain fragmented scene flashes by quickly in her neural cloud. Vivi, what's wrong? Rushi asks, sensing her hesitation. This scene feels oddly familiar, like I've been here before. Familiar? Oh, you mean the simulation training we did this morning? It does look a bit similar, but there's no hostage to be rescued this time. Simulation training. Have you also lost this part of your memory? You also got into a big fight with Wellrod because she didn't stick to the operation plan. Ahem, you can leave out the superfluous information. Wellrod, who is standing guard nearby, suddenly coughs loudly. Have you found the solution? Guys, I think I've got it. Harpsy calls out from one end of the laboratory. Netzer has an opened electronic cabinet with glass jars filled with green liquid neatly stacked inside. Wow, that's great. Just then, the alarm starts blaring. The door is blown right off its hinges, and a large number of security droids surge in. Enemy targets spotted. Spotted. They spotted us. Find cover. The group takes cover behind a large piece of equipment as bullets rain down like a torrential storm, slamming into the machine with a deafening roar. Seizing the brief moment when the enemies are reloading, Wellrod peeks out from behind cover with her riot shield. However, after only a few shots, she is forced back under another hail of bullets. Damn it, the enemy units in the game can actually share information with each other. The approaching enemies give her no time to finish her sentence. Other than Harpsy, who is protecting the solution, the other three dolls desperately fight to keep the enemies contained within the barricade. There's no end to these droids. What if I draw their fire and you guys make a run for it through the vent? No, that would be certain death for you. And quite frankly, you alone won't be able to stall them long enough for us to make it safely through the vent. Then think of another way. We can't do this all day. Our only choice is to clear a path with grenades and charge through the main entrance. The weight in Wellrod's hands is suddenly gone. When she looks up, Vector has already grabbed her riot shield and charged out of cover. What are you doing, Vector? The enemies instantly shift their aim and unleash a relentless barrage towards Vector. Make for the vent. Tuss, Rushi, Harpsy, get the solution safely out of here. If you don't see us after more than 10 minutes, get to the air base on your own. Wellrod grabs a discarded metal plate from the ground and holds it up in front of her. What about you? It's just a game. Dying once is no big deal. Then she sprints towards Vector without a second thought. Why did you act without permission? I'm the team leader here. Boom. A thunderous explosion draws out all other sounds. Several culture tanks in the laboratory shatter on impact, sending torrents of incubation fluid surging out, knocking over every security droid. Wellrod loses her footing and nearly falls, but Vector, who has anticipated this, catches her firmly. Go. From the corner of her eye, Wellrod spots Rushi and Harpsy already crawling into the ventilation duct. Without hesitation, Vector grabs Wellrod's hand and pulls her towards the exit of the lab. So you actually had a plan. Sorry, I know it's risky, but it was an opportunity that I had to seize. No, I should be the one to apologize. Huh? You'll understand what I mean when you have your neural data back. More sporadic gunshots can be heard from behind them. Looks like your cultural fluid cannons didn't get rid of all of the vermin. She's kind of cool. She has a riot shield as well. Alright, I think I know what to do. I know how to take these guys out. At least the entire right side I can probably take out, right? Okay, never mind. I think... okay. Alright, we'll take these guys out and then we'll just loop back around. Yeah, like that. Ouch. Okay. Now, I wonder if this will kill all of them. Doesn't hurt to try, right? Let's do her though. Almost. Luckily she can kill.
逃がしません。
Nice.
404を敵に回したのが運の尽き
Jesus,
よ。
this outfit is crazy. I wonder what the lore reason for her having this kind of outfit is. The finale. I kind of already know how this enemy works, so I kind of have it spoiled for me. But it does suck because I won't have Vector for this. I used someone's Vector for the support or the supply boss fight, and it worked really well. But because I don't have her, I won't be able to do this boss fight as well. But I think we can make it work with what we have. Having successfully acquired the purification solution and withdrawn from the research institute, Team B is now moving towards the northeastern corner of Runa Crystallis under the cover of night as quickly as they can. Harpsy, can you contact Meishi and Klukai? The comms channel is still online, but nobody is answering. Keep the line open. Okay. Harpsy sends another comms request. Unlike before, when her requests were met with nothing but a long, tedious dial tone, the call is answered almost instantly. This is Harpsy. We've secured the purification solution and are heading towards the Runa Crystallis air base. Purification solution? Since the signal is unstable, the speaker's face isn't shown on screen. But the voice belongs to neither Klukai nor Meshi. I see. Huh? Wait for me. I'll be right there. Beep, beep, beep. The call is terminated. Harpsy looks over at Vector in alarm. That was neither Klukai nor Meshi. It could only be Koshmar. Then Meshi and Klukai must be in big trouble. It's pretty obvious from the call that Koshmar is on her way to do us in. Even Klukai couldn't beat her. So what chances do we have? Calm down. Worst case, she defeated Klukai and Meshi. But as long as we haven't cleared the game, the respawn cycle won't end. Once they respawn, they'll come back to us up. So don't worry too much about them. There were just the two of them, so they couldn't even utilize basic team formation. Their defeat was hardly unexpected. Now that we're all here, as long as we stay on our toes, defeating Koshmar isn't entirely impossible. That's right. Besides, that's just the worst case scenario. What if things went down better than what we're assuming? Ha! Has amnesia actually cured your paranoia? Say, maybe you should just stay like this. Vector shakes her head. Whether it does me any good or not, I need to recover all my memories of you. I don't want to misplace any of it. I was just joking. Don't take it so seriously. Why is there such an invaluable sense of rapport between the two of you now? What happened between you two? Nothing. Put a lid on your pointless curiosity. I just noticed she's showing her belly. Look, Vivi, is that the helicopter that G28 mentioned? A battered military helicopter sits on the small tarmac. A rectangular device is hanging from its tail. That should be it. Inspect the engine first. Make sure it is fit to fly. Okay. Rushi climbs into the cockpit to inspect it. After a quick check, she hops back down. The engine is in good condition, and there's plenty of fuel. The helicopter even has an autopilot function. Bang, 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 bang. Though the two managed to dodge the attack in time, the helicopter is now riddled with bullet holes in an instant. Oh my, did I miss? The girl hovering midair lowers the gun in her hands, but the 7 guns floating around her remain trained on Vector and Rushi. How can she control so many guns all at once? Hang on, is she wielding my PP-90? Next time I'll I'll take better aim, okay? Give me all of your data, please. Hold on, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this because this is like prime. Because this is like prime I can fix her vibes. Give me all of your data, please. I read that, I think. That way, I will be complete. Her voice is undoubtedly that of a young girl, yet it is light and airy, with an upward lit tingled with mockery. Vector stares at her for a while, then she lets out a chuckle. Poof. Why are you laughing? No wonder Klukai called you Frankenstein. Frankenstein? Your appearance, weapons, everything about you stems from meshes and my neural data on the 8 of us. Vector shows no fear of her weapons. She paces before Koshmar with deliberate ease. Still hovering midair, Koshmar follows Vector's movements and turns her body slowly. Even if you read all of our neural data and sees our frames, you will never be perceived as a complete doll or a new Koshmar. You are just an amalgamation of patchwork parts. You don't even actually exist, let alone have the ability to be complete. I don't exist? I will never be complete? That's right, you don't exist. Well, Rod. All of a sudden, Vector ducks down, and the sharp crack of gunfire interrupts from behind Koshmar. Bullets tear through her limbs and abdomen. Caught off guard, Koshmar immediately flies up to dodge the attack from behind. When she turns and spots Welrod and Harpsy firing at her from behind the helicopter, her face instantly contorts in fury. You ambushed me? Oh, I gotta take another screenshot. Just reciprocating the courtesy you showed up to our friends. Cries. Or sobs. I want to have my own frame, like the rest of you. I want to experience the outside world. I can have my own data. All of this data, it's all me. Koshmar lets out an anguished shriek. The floating guns around her start spinning and firing wildly in all directions. Spread out. Amidst the chaos, a stray bullet strikes the purification solution that had been strapped to Harsvy's arm, sending the glass container tumbling. The fluorescent green liquid instantly catches Koshmar's attention. The purification solution. She halts her reckless barrage and aims her gun at the container. Oh no! Vector lunges to shield the container, but Koshmar has already pulled the trigger, and the bullet shoots straight towards Vector's head. Vivi, look out! Bang! The loud noise is followed by a dreadful silence. The glass container in her arms is intact, and she isn't met with the dreaded "you died" tests. Then that gunshot. Holy shit, what kind of ultimate kill stealer are you? You even managed to hit an airborne bullet. Starting from tomorrow, you're adding 200 shots to your dynamic target practice. I was complimenting you. Ow. Hearing the familiar voices coming from behind, Vector turns and sees Klukai landing gracefully after vaulting over the railing, alongside his stumbling Meshi. Vivi, are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Vector grabs the container tightly, her fingers still trembling. If you're okay, then get up right now. The fight isn't over yet. Dang. Okay, again, I don't have Vector, so this fight is gonna go... It won't be hard because she's not a high level, but trust me, with Vector, it's a lot easier. So... But I mean, we have one fire unit. I don't think there's any other units that do fire, right? Besides Toralek. Oh, and her Kinch. What's her name again? I forgot. Cena. Yeah, I'll keep my units the way they are. It's fine. Oh my god, I think my game lagged. That was crazy. Alright.
訓練の成果ね。
Yeah, this should work pretty well. The only difference is that, oh, it's a new day.
交換するなら今のうちよ。
Yeah, it's probably the only annoying part is that because I attacked all of the guns, they're all going to be shooting at me. So
どうってことないわ。
by the time,
了解
but we should be able to,
わらないでよ。
yeah, we should be able to attack her. So
従ってくれ
yeah, see.
それがしか守る
Wait, let me actually
わらないでよ。 ターゲット確認。
yeah, as long as we just focus on her, we should be good. Yeah, it's over.
星々よ。
今だ
逃がしません。
No, that was easy. At last, she can hold out no longer. She plummets from midair, hitting the ground with a brutal thud, then becomes motionless. Kluklai steps forward, firing a couple of rounds into her body just to be sure. After confirming no further movement, she signals the others, and one by one, they emerge from cover. Is it over? But the helicopter got shot into Swiss cheese, so what do we do now? Well, Rod, Rushi, go check the status of the helicopter. If it's unusable, check the other aircraft. No way this helicopter is the only functional aircraft on this entire airbase. There's actually a distinct possibility. No! Ow, why did you bonk me on the head? Shut up already. Go with Vector and recover your neural data. Koshmar will be back after she respawns. Haven't we destroyed all the nearby save points while we were on our way here? She won't get here that soon. If you think you can escape your punishment in reality, you're being delusional. Any more procrastination will only double the punishment. Meshi pouts and shuffles closer to Koshmar. Strange. Why can't I recover? Whoa. Koshmar, who has been lying motionless on the ground, suddenly lifts her head. Meshi yelps and jumps back in fright. But Koshmar ignores Meshi entirely. Instead, she turns and bolts towards Vector, who's holding the purification solution. Her movements swift and her intent crystal clear. Rushi and Welrod, who have been inspecting the helicopter nearby, are drawn to their commotion by Mishi's startled cry. Tisk. Flukai and Vector are the first to react. Without hesitation, they draw their guns and open fire on Koshmar. A fresh burst of bullets completely severs Koshmar's already dangling left arm, but she doesn't even flinch. With her still functional right hand, she brushes against a shadowy, decorative mark on the side of her right thigh. Electronic currents crackle around her. Then, with a flash of white light that illuminates the darkness, the shadow solidifies into a drawn blade. Without slowing, she lunges at Vector with the weapon. Not fair, not fair, it's not fair. If I'm stuck here, you're not leaving either. Crap. There is no time to dodge. The raised blade gleams coldly under the moonlight. Bang. A small figure suddenly barrels into Koshmar from the side, knocking her away from Vector. Vector immediately ceases firing, but not before a stray bullet strikes the body of Koshmar's assailant. You. Koshmar instinctively clamps down on the doll who has crashed into her, and in the struggle, her blade veers slightly before plunging downward with full force. Oof. Meshi. Damn it, this is supposed to be a game, so why does this hurt like a bitch? Meshi collapses like a marionette with its strings cut, her form dissolving into scattered fragments of light. Gosh darn it, the nearest save point is so far away. Guess I'm not coming back. Vector, I'll be waiting for you in the future. The light completely fades away. Don't just stand there, attack, shoot her to bits. At Klukai's sharp command, another hail of bullets rain down on Koshmar. Bullets tear through and riddle her body. As Klukai gives the final order, Koshmar's body gradually breaks apart into smaller and smaller fragments. Arg! Koshmar's anguish streams fade, and at the same time, the fragments of her body begin to glow. Stop. The dolls seize their attack. The broken pieces dissolve, unraveling into delicate threads of light that peer away from Koshmar's remains. The strands unravel faster and faster until whiffs of soft, luminescent blue surge into the air, forming a vast ocean of light above the base. Part of the glowing tide drifts into the distance, while the rest rushes straight towards Vector, flowing into her body. Oh, this is cinema. Oops, sorry. That's... The waves of light flood Vector's mind. She can't help but bend forward, sinking to her knees. In front of her, 4 hands overlap. Following the arms upward, she sees familiar features begin to take shape on 2 once blank faces. The fragments have returned to their rightful place. By neural data, Vector looks up towards the sky. There is no more trace of Koshmar. The members of Team B rush up to her. Vivi, how do you feel? Did that work? Have you regained your memory? It's okay, we still got our neural backups. Vector breathes in deeply and takes Rushi's and Welrod's hands. I got everything back. I'm just a bit disoriented. Thank goodness. Rushi embraces Vector tightly. Welrod and Harpsy also look visibly relieved. Does anyone remember there's a second phase in our operation? If you want to fight Frankenstein again, by all means, keep the group bonding session going. Jeez, she's so hostile. I love it. Alright, we have more important things to do. Rushi hastily lets go of Vector. Vivi, I just checked with Welrod. Even though the helicopter got shot full of holes, it's still functional. Even the autopilot still works. The world of video games sure is miraculous. However miraculous it is, I've had enough of it. Vector holds out the glass container that she has been protecting in her arms. In that case, see you in a bit. No residue anomalous data in the neural module. No data conflicts or losses detected. All modules are operating normally. Right. Okay, Harpsy, you can go ahead and destroy that plugin. Make sure you leave no backup, alright? Sure. Phew, not that the crisis has been averted. Can I log off? I got other stuff to attend to. Go then. Dyer's image disappears from the terminal screen. I glance at Meshi and Vector, who have just climbed out of their repair pods. Then I pat Klukai on the shoulder. Don't get too worked up. Just take it easy, yeah? I will keep it under control. Klukai clears her throat and fixes her gaze firmly on the 2 dolls. You may now explain yourselves. I'm listening. Well, it's as you saw. And what exactly did I see? Don't be nervous. Talk me through it slowly. We all have the time in the world. Or would you like a drink to soothe your vocal module? Should I fetch Andorus? Eep, don't be like that. If you want to snap or shout at me, just do it. Otherwise, I'll feel like I was still in the virtual world. Besides, you know I can't drink coffee. Are you telling me what to do? No, not at all. I wouldn't dare. I just think I prefer the OG version of Klukai. If memory serves, that would be the one you called Tyrant Klukai. Oh man, that's good. A chuckle slips out, earning me a mildly disapproving glance from Klukai. Oh man, that's good. I was wrong, Klukai. I shouldn't have asked Harpsy to create that plugin without permission. What else? And I shouldn't mix training and games. Klukai, please don't be like this. Sorry, I still can't help that she found out that she's called Tyrant Klukai, and that our character chuckled and she gave us a scary look. Klukai tilts her chin up and shoots Meshi one more sharp, murderous glare before turning to the trembling Harpsy. Just as she's about to speak, Vector interrupts her. If I had run a tighter ship, this wouldn't have happened. As the leader of Team B, I bear full responsibility for this incident. I will submit a complete review and self-reflection before dawn. Are you planning to take the blame from Harpsy? No, but at the end of the day, this all happened because I failed to discipline my team members properly. This is Team B's management issue. Let me handle it. Klukai gazes at Vector, then glances at the members of Team B hanging their heads behind her. Remember to include your proposed solution to the problem in your review. Understood. Meshi, you're coming to the shooting range with me. The shooting range? At this hour? It's so late. I know it's my punishment, but can't we leave it till tomorrow? Klukai reaches into her pocket and pulls out a small switch. It is compact with a round button resting right under her fingertip. Meshi immediately flails her arms in panic. I'm coming, alright? Then I'll be going with Meshi. Commander, would you like to join us? I understand the meaningful look that Klukai is giving me. She wants Vector to handle Team B's internal affairs on her own. Vector might find it awkward if we stay. At the same time, my instincts tell me this is the moment for Vector to reach a consensus with her team. But can she really do it? I look at her, both worried and hopeful. At that moment, the still inexperienced team leader meets my gaze and gives me a firm nod. Sure, I'll come too. What? Even the commander will be supervising me? We'll see if you dare slack off again with 2 pairs of eyes watching you. Now let's go. Klukai takes the lead, pulling Meshi out the door. As I walk past Vector, I give her a reassuring pat on the shoulder. She looks up at me with silent understanding. The footsteps in the hallway gradually fade into the distance, and the remaining members of Team B let out a collective sigh of relief. I was so scared, I didn't dare speak at all. I'm not surprised, you scaredy cat. Like you were any better, you were also staring at your toes and avoiding Klukai's eyes yourself. I was resting my eyes. I seriously wonder how the members of Team A hang out with Klukai on a daily basis. Thank goodness our VV is so much more approachable. ... Thank you, Vector, for stepping in when Klukai was about to dress me down. I wouldn't know what to say at all. No, I wasn't trying to defend you. Huh? Even though I sensed that something wasn't right, I didn't insist on putting a stop to it. And your disregard for rules and protocols is all because I did not set a good example. I must take full responsibility for everything that happened. We didn't disregard. Seeing that Welrod still intends to argue the point, Vector cuts her off firmly. Disregard is exactly what it is. Vector's gaze does not waver this time. She looks Welrod straight in the eye without any of her usual moroseness. Welrod, this is no small matter. Strictly following protocols and abiding by the rules are the foundation of a team's ability to function effectively. But procedures and rules shouldn't be stagnant. Even if they need to be adjusted, the changes must be thoroughly tested. Otherwise, they'll end up like a chandelier crashing down in the middle of a battle, hindering the team, or worse, hurting someone. Do you understand, Welrod? An awkward silence fills the training room again. Vector lets out a soft sigh. Then again, maybe using what happened on the battlefield as an analogy isn't very appropriate. In combat, you don't always have time to react or test a strategy. Sometimes spontaneous actions can turn the tide of battle more effectively than rigidly sticking to a plan. ... Now that I've been in your position, I realize that when the moment comes, I should rely on my own judgment as well. I shouldn't have been so quick to attribute your actions to a blind desire to score highly, nor should I have rushed to justify my own idea as the best solution. I'm sorry, Welrod. That was my mistake. The air grows still for a few seconds. As she looks into Vector's apologetic eyes, Welrod slowly speaks. Back at the lab, when you suddenly rushed forward and shattered the cultural taints, it really caught me off guard. Did you ever stop to think whether your riot shield could withstand the impact? Did you know what was in those tanks? What if we had been knocked over by the liquid too? Those questions hit me all at once, and I just got really mad. ... And then I thought, maybe this is exactly how you felt when you saw me shoot down the chandelier. Then when we were discussing the simulation training afterwards, I also didn't take your reasoning and standpoint into consideration. All I cared about was defending my own judgment. As Welrod continues, her face gradually turns red and her voice grows a little ambushed. So you don't have to take all the blame so eagerly. I'm not... Alright, let me summarize things. Following the plan is important, but adaptability is just as crucial. If that's all we write down as our conclusion, I doubt Kluklai will accept it. Then what do we do? Maybe we can approach it like this. From now on, during every after-action review, we add a situational thought exercise. Using the battlefield map from the mission, we analyzed and discussed the potential unexpected actions that each team member might take. But we don't always encounter the same scenarios. The goal of this exercise isn't to rehearse specific scenarios, but to develop a better understanding of each other's tendencies in combat. That way, when someone makes a sudden move in the field, we won't waste valuable time being surprised, or worse, let emotions get in the way. We can't control the ever-changing battlefield, so we have to learn to adapt. Oh, I see. After all, when we're on the battlefield, opportunities wait for no one. Seeing the amusement in Vector's eyes, Welrod raises an eyebrow. I think this is doable, and your paranoia, well, it's not entirely baseless. I also think it's worth a try. Then once my proposed solution gets approved, we can begin our new training sessions. But before that, Harsby. Yes? Having her name suddenly called, Harsby jolts, her cattail sticking straight up. You are also required to write a self-reflection. Furthermore, due to a lack of proper respect for the rules and protocols, along with poor judgment, starting now, everyone, including myself, will conduct a full revision of 404's Code of Conduct. I expect to see everyone's review and report on the previous training session in my mailbox by dawn. Am I understood? Yes. Looking at the now motivated team, Vector lets out a soft sigh of relief. I suppose I did the right thing. My teammates and I finally have a conscience, Commander. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Outside, the night has deepened, but the lights in the Elmo's training room remain bright. Just like every other night, Team B spends hard at work. And yet, tonight feels different. Whoa. With the mission cut short, Belka returns to her room after signing off, and she flops onto the bed with a disappointed sigh. Staring at the photo of Klukai stuck to the ceiling, she puffs out her cheeks in frustration. What's up with that client? I was supposed to have at least 72 hours of uninterrupted time with Bitsis Klukai. Now that we're back at the base, she's run off to hang out with Meshi again? Beljo throws a few half-hearted punches at her training sandbag, where a picture of Meshi is taped. Wow. Meshi, the biggest obstacle to my bond with Bitsis. Beep beep beep. There is a notification on her terminal. Huh? Who's sending me a message at this hour? Oh, this is... In the photos and videos clipped on her screen, two figures can be seen leaning closely against each other. Not just anyone, it's her and Klukai. Wah ha ha ha, I have no idea what this is, but Bitsis Klukai looks so cute making this face. I presses the replay button again and again, watching the clip over and over. Completely absorbed. It takes her a while to even remember to check the sender's name. The sender is Meshi? What does she mean by this? She hesitates briefly in confusion, but the moment her eyes land on the video again, she can't help but giggle. Who cares? Just for today, you can be the witness of the love and friendship between Bitsis Klukai and me, Meshi. Aw, that's kind of funny. Ooh, man. Oh no. Wow, that was crazy. But we did it. Yeah. I really liked that. That was good. I really like when we get to see new characters as well. Wellrod and Rushi and no, this is Rushi. I already forgot the characters. But yeah, I really like that. Again, I need to remember not to do these last minute, but the big one with Klukai and Meshi, I mean, that was kind of a different story because of what had happened. And then this one, there was really no excuse because I did have days where I could bring in my PC and actually use it. So, but I mean, we got it done. We got the whole event done, which is good. But, yep, alright. Glad I got this done. Probably, if you stuck around to the end, I mean, hey, thanks, man. Leave a comment saying that you stuck around to the end if you did. I really appreciate it. I mean, it's almost a 4-hour long video, so I'd be really happy if you did stick around. So just let me know in the comments. Depending on when I'm posting this, I'll probably do a Helldivers 2 video about the new war bond, the ceremony war bond. Yeah, I have a lot to say about that war bond, so depending on when I post this video, stick around for that. Probably post this video after that. But thanks for watching for very long hours. Really appreciate it. And I will see you whenever. Bye bye.